Hi there, Richard Brook, Acupuncture and Yoga teacher here. So I'm going to talk today about how seeing a 5-element acupuncturist might differ than seeing a practitioner who practices one of the other styles of acupuncture. Now I'm not going to say that one style is better than another, because that's not particularly professional, but all I can do is tell you why it's slightly different. So with a 5-element practitioner, usually they'll spend the entire duration of the treatment with you. So in other styles of acupuncture, what might happen is you'll come in, you'll chat a little bit to the practitioner, maybe they'll take your pulse, look at your tongue, put some needles in you, and then generally leave the room and leave you alone for perhaps 20 minutes or so. Come back in, put some more needles in you, and then perhaps leave again. And sometimes they might also go out and treat another patient in the meantime, so they might have 2 or 3 people treating at once. Not always, but sometimes. With the 5 elements practitioner, we put great emphasis on rapport and also perhaps a slightly more emotive level to the treatment, or kind of an emotional holding element to the treatment. So the practitioner will be in the treatment room with you for the whole time. So I'll sit down, I'll have a chat with you at the start, which can be anything up to 20, 25 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. Just find out, catching up what's going on, what might have changed within your emotional self, within your physical self, whatever it is you've come to see me about. Obviously we'll speak about that, and then we'll place the needles in, and I'll spend the rest of the treatment time in the room with you. For me, it's always seemed really fundamentally important to do that. There's a certain degree of I suppose safety that a person can feel when they've got someone there with them that allows them to relax on a slightly deeper level. And I'm also watching for things, I kind of want to see what's going on within you and looking for very small changes. So spending the whole time with you, seems really important to me. The other thing as well is perhaps the context within the 5 elements acupuncturist's mind of how they see you. So within 5 elements acupuncture, we place you within the context of how you connect into nature and how you connect into the bigger energetic patterns that people move through, and how we connect with the world around us. I don't always think that's the same with other styles of acupuncture. I think some other styles of acupuncture can see you much more perhaps as like a physical entity, whereas in 5 elements acupuncture we look at how you're connecting with forces of nature, because essentially you can't really separate out kind of any creature from its environment. So in 5 elements we're looking at how you're connecting with the seasonal energies around you, what you're doing in your life, whether you feel perhaps in tune with your life purpose. And sometimes we're very good as human beings at looking at other species and maybe other life and understanding it needs certain environmental factors to be well. You might even have a plant on a very simple level. You recognise for that plant, not just to survive but to thrive, it needs certain environmental conditions. You might have pets, animals, and again we can often see how when they're not in ideal connection with the world around them, they might not be as healthy. There's certain environmental forces that need to be engaged with in order to thrive. And actually we're very similar as human beings, but we tend to forget it because we spend so much time surrounded within concrete walls that we forget we also need to engage with nature around us in order to be healthy. We can't book natural trends. So there's a natural trend for expansion and contraction, day and night, rest and activity that's going on all around us, that we also as human beings need to engage with, otherwise you're not going to be healthy. There's this whole passage through the seasons where each season acts upon any natural matter in order to give it a certain quality. You just got to look at how trees across the course of 1 year go through a whole cycle of growth, expansion, decay, and then contraction and rest, and then it all starts again. So as human beings, we also need to be adhering to some of these energetic cycles. So again, I'll also place you within that context. So I try and find out a little bit about what you're doing in your life, now that can also be affecting you. And perhaps maybe the other context, which can sometimes be slightly different, we also put great emphasis on what's happening within you emotionally. There's a whole kind of unseen world that's going on within someone that's equally as important as anything you can possibly see on the surface, if not sometimes even more so. So we put a little bit of emphasis on finding out what's happening within your emotions. Emotional stress and strain, you know, you can obviously relate to this in yourself, can be equally as painful as physical stress and strain, yet sometimes we don't treat it in the same way, you know, we don't seek assistance for it in the same way, we don't seek to understand it in the same way. Whereas in this style of acupuncture, I like to think particularly myself, I'm very good and very insightful and can give a lot of insight and a lot of understanding about emotional patterns within the body and which organs they come from. So I'm particularly strong point with that. So there you go, I hope that's told you a little bit about the differences between 5 elements acupuncture and other styles of acupuncture. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot, bye bye.